What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton cycling and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday, and I am back home in Pennsylvania where I have access to our Peloton. So I'll be doing a lot of rides for the next 2 weeks, and I thought that this week I would really focus on fun rides. So there's been a lot of artist series rides that I have not been able to take, and honestly some artist series rides that came out a while ago that I never took. So I thought that this week could just be an artist series ride week where I take a bunch of artist series rides. So for those of you who don't know, artist series rides are just rides that is one artist only, and Peloton does a lot of them. You can see all of them under collections in the app. It's like under an artist series collection. It is cross training because they do it for like everything, but they have over 300 classes. So there's a lot of them. I also think that they're a ton of fun, probably like some of the most fun rides on the platform. Usually the instructor is very passionate about the artist. It shines through. It's just a good time. They're usually not like too hard, but they're fun. They're a good ride. It's a good way to start off a dreary Monday morning, and I'm excited. Also, I've really been inspired because the Lizzo 2-for-1 ride with Robin and Jess just came out on Friday, so a couple days ago, and that is like all the talk on Peloton. People really love it. Lizzo actually like shows up for this ride. I'm not sure in what capacity, like is she there the whole time? Not sure, but we're gonna find that out today because that's gonna be my first artist series ride. So it's a 30-minute Lizzo 2-for-1 ride by Jess and Robin from July 15th, 2022. Lizzo is in the cover photo. I love Robin. I love Jess. I think it was supposed to be Robin and Cody, but then Cody was sick. But I really like Jess, so I'm okay with the replacement. And yeah, we'll see how this ride goes. I think it won't be like the hardest ride, but I think it will be a lot of fun. I do really like Lizzo music, and I actually have taken a 30-minute Lizzo ride, I believe with Robin from like a couple of years ago. So I just feel like the vibes will be very good, very fun. And then after that, I'm going to be following it up with another artist series ride, but a very different one. I'll be doing a 30-minute David Guetta ride by Ben Aldis from July 6th, 2022. I like David Guetta. I don't like love him, but I also really like Ben. I think it'll be a fun ride. I like cycling to like EDM vibes. So both of these rides should be a lot of fun. And then I'm just going to do a 5-minute cooldown ride by Hannah Frankson from July 16th, 2022. And then a 5-minute post-ride stretch by Matt Wilpers from May 12th, 2022. And that's the workout for today. Honestly, I think the entire time that I'm home, I'm just like going to only do cardio. I really like cardio. It's definitely my favorite. I've been trying to work in more strength recently, but we just don't have like a lot of weights at home. So I'm just gonna take a little strength break. I'll get back at it when I go back to New York in 2 weeks, but for now, we're just gonna have fun doing some really fun cycling classes. So let's just get right on into this workout. I really enjoyed both of those rides, but for very, very different reasons. And I feel like I kind of predicted going into it. But the Lizzo ride was very, very fun. They brought out Lizzo pretty much right away. She was riding during the class. It was a whole production. Like there were backup dancers. Lizzo was singing while riding, which blows my mind. I know that performing on stage is definitely like very hard, so she could do it because like on stage you're running around and singing, but the fact that she could ride at like any pace and sing along and sound good really, really amazed me. I knew she was a good singer. It was just like very cool to see. The energy was good. The ride itself was not hard at all. Not a lot of call outs, pretty much all vibes. So definitely a fun ride. If you like Lizzo, I would highly recommend. And if you want like a fun ride, I would highly recommend. But just know that it's definitely easier than like the majority of rides on Peloton, which I think is totally fine. And that kind of comes with the territory of artist series rides. They want like everybody to be able to partake, so they make it pretty easy. But overall, like very, very fun ride. Definitely see like why it gets hyped. So would recommend if you haven't taken it yet. I looked and I think like 150,000 people had already taken it by the time that I took it. And so it's Monday morning. It's been like 2 days since it's been out, which is crazy. So definitely a very, very popular ride. Then the Ben Aldis David Guetta ride surprised me. I have never seen Ben so happy. He was just like very, very happy. He was really geeking out. You could tell that he really, really loved David Guetta, really appreciated his music. And he was right. Like, he's just like, yeah, David always like stays in front of the times, that he can stay relevant for so many years. And like, he kind of knows like the direction the music industry is going in, which when he says it that way, like that is true. David Guetta has been around for so long. I knew literally every single song that he played just because he's had so many hits. The music was fun, and Ben brought the heat. It was definitely a way harder ride than I thought it would be. There were like wide ranges, so I think that anybody could do it, but I was not at like the top of the ranges at all. I was pretty in the middle compared to like the Lizzo ride, where I was at the absolute top or over, and it was still like very, very easy. So if you want a harder ride, I would definitely check out the David Guetta ride. I would do both rides again. If I did them on the same day, I'd do Ben's ride first just because it was harder. So like I kind of had an easy ride and then a hard ride, and I usually like to do like a hard ride and then an easy ride. But I probably should have thought about it a little more, because if I thought about it before riding, I like would have known that Ben's ride would have been harder. But you know what? I made it through it. Both rides were really good, really fun. Music was great. Vibes were great. Instructors were passionate. Artist series rides are just, they're a good time. It's a lot of fun. So I'd highly recommend both if you have not checked them out yet. And then I thought my cool down and post ride stretch was just okay. I don't know. I didn't really like the cool down because it was just like starting at resistance 40 and taking off, which is already like pretty light for me. And then the stretch was kind of just like a throwaway stretch. Not bad, not good. But I feel like I've never taken a stretch that I'm like, wow, this is like the best post-ride stretch ever. They are kind of all the same at the end of the day. So overall, a really good way to start the week. And I'm very excited to continue taking artist series rides. They are a ton of fun. It is now the next day. It's Tuesday, which means 2 more artist series rides. And I'm very excited and a little scared for today's rides. So the first ride I'm going to do, which I think is the harder ride, is the 30-minute Megan Thee Stallion ride by Kendall Toole from March 4th, 2021. This isn't a super new ride. I'm just not sure why I haven't done it yet. I feel like probably because Megan Thee Stallion's not like my favorite artist, but I think it'll still be fun. And I really do like to ride and run to like EDM or rap music. So I think it'll be a good ride. I am a little worried about it being Kendall. I actually really like Kendall's personality. I just feel like she's hard, and I feel like she will still bring it even though it's an artist series ride. So that's why I'm putting it first, because I expect for it to be hard. And then after that, I'm going to be doing the 30-minute Harry Styles 2-for-1 ride by Ali and Emma from May 20th, 2022. Very pumped for this. I'm not like the biggest Harry Styles fan. Like, I know some people really, really love him, but I enjoy all of his like top hits. I think that this was to promote his new album. So I'm not sure if this ride is going to be like all music from his new album, but either way, a 2-for-1 ride, Harry Styles, like it should be a lot of fun. I am a little bit worried because I think Emma Lovell is pretty hard, and I feel like Ali can go either way. But they're also dressed up in like fun costumes, and I think that it will be like pretty chill. So that's why I'm putting it second. You know, we'll see how it goes. And then after that, I'm just doing a 5-minute cool down ride and a 5-minute post ride stretch, both by Tunde Onine from June 7th, 2022. Sometimes it's nice to do like the same cool down and post ride stretch by like the same instructor from the same day. Just, you know, some congruent content. We gotta love it. So that is what is on the agenda today. I think that it will hopefully be kind of average, although I am nervous about this Kendall ride. So let's get on the bike and do this workout. I thought that both rides yesterday were better than the rides today. Kendall's ride, Megan Thee Stallion, wasn't bad. I would say it was pretty good. I just feel like with Kendall, I don't love her sets. I feel like sometimes it's really, really easy and then sometimes it's really, really hard. And there's like no in between work to be done. And I typically gravitate towards instructors where it's like kind of hard the whole class with like a little bit of recovery. So her ride wasn't bad and she was definitely very passionate. And I actually knew pretty much every single song, which I didn't know I knew that much Megan Thee Stallion. And it was very explicit, which I thought was funny at least. And like Kendall was definitely in a good mood. That ride like wasn't bad. I just feel like my output wasn't as high as I would have liked just because I feel like it like yo-yos a lot where it's like really easy 1 minute, really hard the next. There was one arm section where she did boxing and I really did not like that. She essentially just did jab crosses and then uppercuts, but she would like switch the way we were doing them without telling us, like pretty much every time. Like she would give no warning when she was going to switch it. So it was just like kind of hard to follow. And then I feel like I would rather do like actual arm exercises compared to boxing on the bike. And I'm just not a fan of like arm segments at all on the bike. So it wasn't like she had a lot to work with or she really could have impressed me, but I really did not like that arm section. But besides that, it was a good ride. If you like Megan Thee Stallion, definitely check it out. You could tell Kendall was passionate. She was doing some of the TikTok dances, which was definitely like funny. And she was very into it. And then the Harry Styles ride, I just feel like Harry Styles doesn't have like super hype music. So they just played his entire new album. I think this came out on the day that the album released. So it was kind of like a listening party. Definitely very laid back, very chill. A lot of people actually have taken this ride. I saw like 180,000 people have taken it, which is a lot. And I just thought that it was like solidly okay. Again, there were some hard pushes, but for the most part, it was like pretty easy, pretty much like cycling fast at a low resistance, which is not my favorite. It's definitely something I have to like work on, but I feel like even in that ride, there weren't a lot of pushes. My output was like quite low for what I can typically do in a 30-minute ride. And you could tell that they were passionate about Harry Styles, but I feel like at the end of the day, cycling to Harry Styles music is just like not for me. It's just too laid back. I need like with Megan Thee Stallion, at least it's like in my face music that motivates me to go harder than like Harry Styles. That is just like, yeah, way too laid back. And then I also didn't really like the cool down or the stretch. I like the music a lot, but the cool down, I should like look at this because I think that now Peloton shows you on the app like what the actual pushes are. But I like when we start with a heavier resistance and a lower cadence and then like switch the two. But Tunde just did like 30 to 40 resistance at a high cadence already, so like over 80, and then just brought it down even more. So wasn't a huge fan of that. And the post-ride stretch was on the ground, which like I'm sweaty. Our bike is in a carpeted basement, so like I have a towel, but I would rather just like remain standing for my stretch. So nothing against Tunde, like she was great, but neither of those classes worked out with me. But you know, you win some, you lose some. And it wasn't like the rides were horrible. I just feel like, especially the Harry Styles one was like dragging a little bit towards the end for me. So we will see how the rest of the week goes now. We kind of got a really good day and now just kind of an average day. It is now Wednesday morning and I'm ready for my next two artist series rides. So these are both kind of throwbacks. Well, the first one is. So the first ride that I'm going to be doing is the 45-minute Lil Wayne ride by Alex Toussaint from July 22nd, 2020. I'm actually not sure why I never took this because I really like rap and I do like Alex Toussaint. So I feel like it should be a fun ride. We'll see. I haven't taken an Alex ride in a while. I know sometimes he stops and that annoys me. He'll probably stop in this ride. I'm prepared for that. And I think that he'll bring really good energy to this ride. I think that it'll be a good one. And then after that, I'm going to be doing a 20-minute Paramore ride by Bradley Rose from April 16th, 2022. I love Paramore. I think this will be fun. I also feel like Paramore is a good intersection of being like alternative music but still being very hype, so hopefully we will not run into the whole like Harry Styles issue of yesterday. I think Bradley will bring the energy. I really love Bradley. I think it will also be a very fun ride. After that, 5-minute cool down ride by Cody Rigsby from May 12th, 2022, and then a 5-minute post-ride stretch by Ben Aldis from March 25th, 2022. So 5 minutes longer than I usually cycle, but you know what? think we can power through for this Wednesday morning. So let's get on the bike and do these rides. I really enjoyed both of those rides. I think Alex's ride might be my favorite Artist Series ride this week so far. Although I will say specifically you need to be in a mood for it. It is a typical Alex ride, which is good. He's super pumped, but like a ton of like preaching motivational stuff, which I know is not everybody's cup of tea. And then also a ton of stopping. Sometimes stopping like really, really bothers me. Sometimes I'm fine with it. Like today I didn't care at all. I think it's two things. One, if I'm like in a good mood before I ride, then I don't care as much. And then two, if I already have the expectation of it not being a hard ride and like knowing I'm not going to push myself super, super hard, then I also don't care as much. And I feel like going into today's ride, both of those were true. So I just didn't care that much. I was very much vibing. The music was good. Alex was super, super pumped. I feel like it's amazing that he can just like scream for 45 minutes and be such high energy. Also, I feel like some 45-minute rides can really drag. I didn't feel like his ride dragged. So if you like rap music, if you like Alex, I would highly recommend. I think it was a very, very fun Artist Series ride. And then the Paramore Bradley ride was good. I feel like I would like it more if I hadn't just taken the Alex ride where he was so high energy, because Bradley is pretty high energy, but compared to Alex, he's like low energy. So it was still a fun ride. I really enjoyed the music. I felt like the music was good for cycling. Like it's pretty upbeat, keeps it moving, keeps it interesting, and like Paramore is super popular. So I knew all of their songs, and I'm not like a hardcore Paramore listener. It was only 20 minutes also, so he could really just like play only their top hits. You could tell he liked Paramore. Definitely on the easier side, but kind of what I was expecting from an Artist Series ride from Bradley. Like, I don't think Bradley is that hard on the average day, so an Artist Series ride didn't have high expectations, but still a fun ride. I will say my Peloton is weird here, and it didn't show me ranges for Bradley's ride, but they definitely existed. I don't know. I don't know if my bike like disconnects from the internet, but I didn't have to like reboot it, which sometimes I do for taking the following ride, but I could like get into my cooldown ride fine, and the ranges were back for the cooldown ride. So that was definitely kind of weird and kind of sad. I definitely really like having the ranges in front of me now, which is crazy because I rode for so long on a non-Peloton bike that didn't have the ranges, but once you're used to it, you're like really used to not really listening to the instructor and just relying on the ranges. But Bradley did repeat himself a lot, so it was fine to follow for a 20-minute ride. And then the cooldown ride was kind of interesting. It was 2 minutes of low cadence, high resistance, and then 2 minutes of really high cadence, low resistance. It was like 100 to 110, and then 1 minute of like low cadence, low resistance cool down. And I don't know if I've ever taken a cool down ride that's structured that way. Jury's out if I liked it or not. I definitely liked it more than when there's like no low cadence, high resistance. I feel like I really like that in a cool down ride, but it was interesting. I just haven't done it. And Cody talked a lot about like baggage. It was kind of interesting, like just to not get in your head about like having a bad ride, essentially. And then the stretch I thought was fine, like nothing special. Pretty much all the stretches are the same. So yeah, got the job done. But overall, very, very good ride. I will say also that Alex's ride, the first 20 minutes were pretty easy. And then the second 20 minutes I thought kind of got really hard, where mostly he just does like the freestyle thing. And then he's like, oh, I want you to have like over 250 output. And it's like, I haven't even gone like over 200 output this entire ride. So really had to like grind it up at the end. But overall, very good rides, very fun day. Really like the artist, really like the instructors. 2 thumbs up. It is now Friday. I took a break from cycling yesterday and did an outdoor run because I was considering running a half marathon in New York in August, but I've decided with the humidity, I just can't do it. Like, it was very, very brutal to try to do a long run in like 80 degrees weather and like 75% humidity. And I'm like, I'd rather just wait until we're back in Los Angeles to look and see if there's like a half marathon I can do. So, good learning experience, but definitely ready to get back on the bike today where we're humidity and temperature controlled. Always gotta love it. And, do some more fun rides. Although today could go either way. I feel like today could be like very hard or it could be, just kind of throwaway. So we'll see. The first artist series ride that I have up is a 30-minute Sam Smith ride by Kendall Toole from June 9th, 2021. It is tagged intermediate, which is slightly concerning. Why is the artist series ride tagged intermediate? I guess we'll find out, but I really like Sam Smith. My only concern is that his music isn't like super upbeat, so we might run into the same issue as Harry Styles, but we'll see if Kendall Toole can bring the energy and hopefully it's not too hard. And then after Kendall's ride, I'm going to be doing a 30-minute Miley Cyrus ride by Jess King from January 9th, 2021. I honestly couldn't decide which ride to put first because I feel like the Jess King ride could be really hard, but I also feel like the Kendall Toole ride could be really hard. So we'll see. Hopefully they won't be that bad. I'm a little tired from my long run yesterday, so we'll see how it goes, but I do really like Miley Cyrus. I think that I looked at the music and it wasn't like a ton of music that I knew, but we'll see. I feel like Miley is pretty upbeat, so I expect Jess to really bring the energy. And then we're just going to do a 5-minute cool down ride by Olivia Amato from July 15th, 2022, and a 5-minute post-ride stretch by Olivia Amato from May 6th, 2022. So that is the agenda today, and this will be my last day of artist series rides. I considered doing the Andrew Lloyd Webber ride that just came out, but I actually looked at the playlist and I didn't know a lot of the music, which is interesting because I consider myself like pretty into musicals, but I feel like Andrew Lloyd Webber has just written so many musicals that it's literally like one song from like every musical he's written. So I actually decided to skip that one. So that is what is on the agenda today. Let's go to the bike and get this last artist series workout in. I really enjoyed both of those rides, although I feel like Jess's ride did kind of outshine Kendall's ride, but Kendall's ride was really good. I really enjoyed listening to Sam Smith music. Their music is actually very upbeat, like more upbeat than I thought. So it was pretty good. You could tell that Kendall was very, very passionate about the artist, which is always a good thing. And I actually learned a lot about Sam Smith because I did not know anything about them before starting this ride, besides like the fact that they had a lot of popular music. So it was nice to learn more about the artist. I will say it was very, very easy. Probably like 80% of that ride, I was either in zone 1 or zone 2 for my heart rate, which is quite low. My heart rate goes up very quickly when there's a big push. There was like one big push right at the end, but besides that, I was riding at the absolute top of all of our intervals and it was not challenging at all. Of course, I could have like pushed myself and gone above the intervals, but honestly, I just didn't care that much. I was like, it's fine that this is an easy ride. Like I had kind of an intense run yesterday, like it was chill. It is interesting though that her ride was specifically tagged as intermediate though, because yeah, it's like definitely not intermediate, definitely very beginner friendly. If you like Sam Smith, if you like Kendall, definitely check it out. And then Jess King's ride was definitely harder, but still not like super, super hard, but I would say average to hard for an artist series class, which is fine. She brought it and I actually just loved her class. Jess had really great energy. you can tell that she likes Miley Cyrus. I feel like Jess King and Miley Cyrus have already similar vibes. And I feel like Miley Cyrus's music was really great to cycle to. I didn't know a ton of it. A lot of it was covers, so like I did recognize the covers, but it was just very like upbeat, has a very solid beat, which is kind of like what I like the most to ride or run to. And I feel like Jess King's like passion really showed through, that she like really, respects and appreciates Miley's music. So yeah, it was definitely very cool, very fun, and a little bit of a pick me up after such an easy Kendall ride. Like the Jess ride was a little bit of a wake up call, but I feel like it was still not that bad. Like definitely nothing like a sweat steady ride, but that's not really like what I was expecting with an artist series ride. But I think that out of this week, my two favorite artist series rides were Alex's Lil Wayne ride and Jess's Miley Cyrus ride, with an honorable mention to Ben's David Guetta ride, just because Ben was just so happy during that ride. Like he was, I don't know, I've never seen him that happy. I still can't get over it. So those are definitely my top three from this week. Although honestly, there's a ton of artist series rides that I've taken in the past that I also love. I have literally taken the Cody Rigsby Britney Spears ride probably like 5 times. It's a great ride. Definitely check it out. I highly recommend you just like go through the collection on the Peloton app and literally like bookmark every single artist that you like. It's a fun time. It's always a good ride to do if you're like not in the mood to ride, or you just want a chiller ride that day. Like I feel like they're all so happy and uplifting and just like really fun rides to take. So that is it for this video. Definitely let me know what your favorite artist series ride is. I've taken a lot of them, but I haven't taken all of them. So definitely leave me your recommendations. I'd love to check them out. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!